Hey there, good evening everyone. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is the show that is dedicated to rock music in general and prog music specifically. So we are doing an episode of This Week. Yep, it's that time again. I have my list for the week of stuff that's going to be happening on, and there's a couple things I wanted to talk about as well so that people know up to date what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm getting better at this. I'm starting to organize much better and get things in better instead of taking on stuff that I just can't do at this particular time. So we will be doing that and talking about that tonight. So for those of you who don't know, This Week is a show that comes out once a week that talks about the content and what's coming up on this channel and what's new and all that kind of stuff that goes on the channel. So this week we're going to be doing Ben's album of Challenge. Of course, you know that comes out Sunday night, and Ben has given me another album, and I just want to make sure I get it right. This is called A Toast to Panama, and the album is the Red Album. So I do not know anything about this album. I have not listened to it yet, and that's unfortunate because it's coming out tonight. So I will endeavor to do some serious listening this afternoon and get her down. But, sometimes that's just the way things go. So at this point in time, I'm looking forward to it. He usually gives me some stuff that does two things. First, it's usually very interesting stuff, and I usually end up liking it. But sometimes it's irritating at some points as well. But that's all part and parcel of learning something new. The next show comes out Monday night. That's my Monday night look back at a classic rock album. This week we're going to be doing this album, Thin Lizzy's Thunder and Lightning. Finally going to get to the Liz. This is a legendary band, a band that I've much liked for many, many years now, probably dating back to the early 80s. When I first I probably heard some of their stuff in the 70s, but got into them in this album in a big way. This was the first kind of Thin Lizzy for me, but not the entire album, just some tracks off it. I had kind of a Lizzy demo track that somebody made for me with about 10 songs on it and about 2 or 3 from this album. So this is a very spectacular album. It's in my playlist right now and currently my favorite album at the moment. I listen to it probably weekly, really solid tracks. Other than the 2 tracks that I knew prior to this, getting the album, which I got not too long ago, maybe sometime in the summer last year. The only 2 tracks I knew were Thunder and Lightning, which was my friend Mark's favorite song to go off on. He really kind of likes them quite a bit too. And Cold Sweat, of course, which was the more radio-friendly tune. But those 2 tunes aside, the rest of the album is solid. There's no bad tracks on this album. Great album. So we'll be doing this album on my Monday night look back at a classic rock album. I hope you can join me for some of the Irish Wonder and Thin Lizzy. Okay, so the next show that usually comes out on Wednesday night, and it's called Wednesday Night Favorites. I'm not quite ready to do my Australian top 25 Australian bands yet. I'm working towards it, but I decided that I would do a top 10, my top 10 favorite progressive rock instrumentals. And I couldn't have done this a year ago because I don't think I knew enough top 10 instrumentals to put up there, but at least prog ones. I now think I have more than enough to do that with the bands I've been listening to, so I think it's important to give the instrumental part of prog music a listen to because prog music is primarily instrumental in nature. So yeah, we'll be doing my top 10 favorite progressive rock instrumentals for this Wednesday night. Okay, we will also be doing a couple of episodes of What's New. I did one of them yesterday with Ladytron, and we're going to come back with Riverside, their ID Entity album, which just came out. We'll be doing that this week at some point. I'm going to try to fit it in where it makes sense. And if all else works out, I will also attempt to do, there's one other one here I had. Oh yeah, I wanted to do Uriah Heep's new Chaos and Color album, which came out not too long ago as well. I'm trying to catch up so I can get right on the ball so that within a couple days after their release I'll be able to say something about them. Looking forward to doing these two particular ones because I like both of these bands, and I especially like Riverside quite a bit, so we'll be doing that, and I will fit it in somewhere so that it's bunched up, but we will get it in there somewhere. So those are the two I'm thinking. For sure Riverside this week, and if I can I'll squeeze in Chaos and Color from Uriah Heep as well. So then also back to, we're back on our series, of course. Many of you have been following that. Now I just have to figure out where to put it. Here it is. So we'll have another 7 battles this week, starting this morning. If you were watching, you will have seen that I had the Budgie versus Blackfeather one this morning, and then we'll be back tomorrow with Heaven versus Trigger. And I hope you'll tune in for, I hope you had a chance to tune in for this morning, and you'll get a chance to tune in for tomorrow's as well. And we'll be doing one each day at 8 a.m. I know yesterday, on the Saturday one I had to release late because of the storm on Friday night. I was getting periodic brownouts, which caused nothing but irritation really, because once I almost got through the video and it browned out and I lost the video and had to do it again, and then the second time through I got about 2 minutes into it and browned out again. So I just said, you know what, let's wait and see. And of course it browned out a couple more times, and then I thought, well, maybe it's clear now, but it was getting really late and I was feeling tired, and I knew that I was going to say something that didn't make sense. So I decided just to leave it and release it a little bit later in the day, and everybody seems to have been fine with that. I only had one other video come out that day, and that was Ladytron, which was something, which was what's new, and so it was fine. Only a couple that day, wasn't too bad. So today this one will come out. This morning we had one, and Ben's album challenge tonight. Excuse me. And I look forward to there's a couple of other things that weren't related to this week but are related to the channel. First one and foremost is the AC/DC kind of tribute to their 50 years. I've decided that I'm going to move that one to May, because I'm going to do finish this series and do another series next month that I've already began to set up. And then I'm going to take a month off from the series and try to do that AC/DC one. That may actually be more than one part. I may do a 2 or 3 parter there, so I'm not sure yet. But that will come out in May for sure. I've decided that it's difficult to do a series, especially one of this nature where you're having to listen to 2 albums. That's a lot of time, and still have time to work on something like as big as this AC/DC thing that I want to do. So I want to give it its proper due. So I will do it in May when I'm not having a series, and I'll be able to work on it for the whole month. And then when I'm ready, I will start to release either as a whole or in parts. Haven't decided which way to go yet. Also, the psychedelic snack, which some of you have heard me talk about in some of this week's shows from before. I'm going to get ready to launch that again sometime in May as well. That'll probably be my month for new stuff. Looking forward to doing this psychedelic snack, which I think will happen on either Saturday night or on Saturday morning. And I'm thinking it'll probably be Saturday night, late Saturday night, after I'm done with my my particular services that I like to go to on Saturday So when that's all done, then I will work on this psychedelic snack, which will feature music and albums from the psychedelic era. And then the other show that will be making a comeback, I'm hoping in the summer, probably in May as well, will be my live stream. Not live stream, my live video on live music. I used to have the Friday Night Live experience, but that doesn't work out because I have another commitment on Friday nights that I'm trying to keep. So I will probably move that to a different night. Right now I'm thinking it's going to be Thursday. Pretty sure it'll either be Thursday or it'll be I think Thursday makes the most sense, but either way I'm going to get back into doing that as well, because that was a show that did fairly well, so there was a fair number of people who followed that episode, and I want to give them some more attention again, and so that show will probably come too. So quite possibly we will have the Monday Night Look Back at a Classic Rock Album, the Wednesday Favorites, Ben's Album Challenge on Sunday, Psychedelic Snack on Saturday night, likely, and then on Thursday we will have the live experience. So if I can get those all kind of rolling in May when I don't have a series going, then that'll work out very well, and then we'll probably go back to maybe another band battle, depending on what I'm feeling at the time, and what Ben has in mind. So we'll talk then. So anyways, that pretty much gives it all up to date. That's what's happening. I'm going to be doing some more changes to my setup here. As you see, the corner here, which has been housing my baseball, for those who don't know, my baseball board for my Stratomatic. That is going to move to a different part of the room, and that area is going to become for CDs and stuff as well. So we'll have almost a corner. And there will also be a couple tapestries, at least one tapestry, which will go up behind this. I'm trying to give some kind of more feel than just some CDs here. I want to get that more magical feel that you get from having posters and tapestries and stuff like that in the collection. So, yep, this is an ongoing kind of development with me. I'm hoping that by the time I'm retired, which won't be much longer, a couple of 3 years, I think, as they say, I'll have a lot more time and a lot more energy for that when that time period comes. And I'm looking forward to doing this full time, because right now it's part-time and tiring, but enjoyable at the same time. So I hope that everybody else is enjoying this as much as I am, and we will see you again. So please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated, and I will be back tonight with Ben's Album Challenge. So take care of yourself and have a good night. Goodbye.